hold on. What's up, guys? Twisty and a Spiz, another mogul minute. And I was telling someone behind the scenes about you, Amanda, the other day. I go, if only the world had more Amandas,
Yeah.
this world would be better. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but my big question for you today, how do you maintain such a positive outlook, which I believe transcends into this flow and abundance thing of like a lot of chiropractors, especially that work, in digital marketing, it's always the negative. It's well, they said this, they said that. And I always look at you and point you as a North Star. And I say, clinics should work with you because I think you can transcend their teams because of how you approach life and business. How the frick did you become like that?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I have always been super grateful to live in America. I know that sounds really crazy. This sounds like way off, but we live in the greatest country in the universe, on the planet. We have more ability and options to do anything in this country. You can make it here. Like you can make it in America. You just have to do the work. And it just baffles me that because especially in the beginning, I saw it more as lazy. Now I realize people didn't know the way, they didn't have the ability, they needed more education. But that's why I have always worked hard. And I just feel like we have this opportunity. If you're going to work, give it 3,000%, not 10%, not 100. If you put 3,000% into what you're doing, you're going to grow. The media, so it's so funny. This weekend, I have a new phrase. You know how you have the Karen moms?
Yeah.
So now I've got the business bevs.
The business bets. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
you got the bevs and the freds, and this all happened in 2 days. So, because it is very annoying to go on Facebook because everyone is whining, everyone is negative, it's just awful. And well, one of the posts, well, I'll get into the bevs and the freds, but one this week I read was, well, funny, I'm 8 years into practice and I just can't get it going. And I think I'm going to retire. And my first thought was, you think you're going to quit? Like, when did we get to say we're retiring? If you leave a job, you quit, but we retire in 8 years. Like, it almost sounds prestigious, right? But I'm sitting in the airport in Appleton, Wisconsin. Like, I think it's the first time I've ever been there, and I've been to most airports. And I was like feeling the feels because the next day is Mother's Day. It's the first Mother's Day without my mom. And all of a sudden, it just like hit me like a brick. So I'm scrolling through Facebook, waiting through, for my flight. And there is this, and this is not just chiropractors. This is all entrepreneurs. I don't care what you're doing. There's just a lot of negativity out there, right? It is a singles group Facebook page in Florida. And don't ask Tristan, okay? But it literally just said, what do you do professionally? Let's support each other. Okay. So I said something cute like, I turn doctors' practices into empires, like something cute, right? This is not a TED Talk. It's a Facebook page. It's a little post.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's a cute boy and he's going to be like, let me build an empire with you. Or, something cute, join my empire. I don't know. So right away I get Bev. Well, that sounds vague. So then I went into it more. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. Not even a guy, but let me just answer. So I said like, profitability, scaling, just some basic. I mean, what do I really need to say here, right? Facebook post, what do you do? So she comes back again. I think you're just hype. And I'm literally thinking, so at this point, it's the day before Mother's Day. And I got to tell you, wasn't feeling that great. So, and
Yeah.
I'm a Kardashian. I don't even care what's on Facebook. I don't even really care normally. But so I went to her Facebook page, who in her literal, what do you call it? The profile pic, the big profile pic.
Yeah.
There
Cover
are
photo.
three sentences with one cut off at the top, three sentences at the bottom with the last one cut off. You can't understand what she does at all. And it is the most unprofessional page. So I copied it, put it in. Well, that's pretty vague, Beth. And I just said, why would you ever want to literally like interrogate, demean someone on Facebook? And especially as another female entrepreneur. Hate the female male thing, but as any entrepreneur, but especially as a female. And then look, Bev, this is a dating site. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're looking great out there to all the guys, So then a day later, I'm looking through my Facebook again, and this is a post I'm looking at that I posted for my mom, and it was a nice tribute to my mom on my first Mother's Day without her. And
Yeah.
let's say there were like 200 responses or whatever. There's a laugh, one laugh. And I'm like, who's laughing at that? I'd laugh at that. Is it business, Bev? So I go to look and see who did it. It was my 88-year-old kindest veteran patient who probably didn't have his reading glasses on. So it's just Facebook is just so crazy in the way we look at it and the way that we interpret. Yeah, people are just nasty. There's a
Well,
difference between nasty and then the not knowing.
but also, I mean, my big thing that's come up for me is, look, it is as difficult as you want to make it for yourself out there. It's always going to be hard. There's always, I remember I was running a company. I had a sales guy. This is back in early 2000. He'd come back from an event and go, "I don't know what to tell you. It was summer slowdown. I don't know what to tell you. We were parked near the restroom. It's winter slowdown, and you're just someone who doesn't accept." I don't know if it's excuses, but like we had a mutual friend that we were working with, and she probably gonna listen to this, and maybe this is for her. I was trying to help her out, and I was like, "Hey, it's hard right now. I'm sorry. It's a difficult economy. There's a lot of competition, not just in chiropractic, but for things that can help you in the sense that what chiropractic can help you. This is a different time, but it's also one of the best times to be a chiropractor.
It's time to be a chiropractor.
It's better than what my grandparents grew up with. Let me tell you that. They somehow managed to pull through, be successful. But I would say, I love your outlook, but this individual who I love, and we both mutually love it. She studied me for a couple of weeks because I was like, look, you got options. If no one's coming in, you got to go make shit happen, right? And you still are how many years in practice again?
25.
And you still go out and do the mixers, right?
Everything. I'm the face of my never, ever stop being the face of your practice. You always have time to go to the community events and to network. Never stop being the face of your practice.
What makes you different than some of our friends who are like, I just can't do it? And they're good looking people. They're charismatic. I mean, I'm like, you're not like you're a dud. Like if you were a dud, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yes. And it doesn't matter how you look. Really, they're looking for confidence and answers. That's what they're looking for in a chiropractor. When I'm in my practice,
you out of your bed and says, I'm not gonna not do this shit, versus the people that we know that go, I just can't do it. I don't want to do it.
The only person that slows down is you. You slow down. Your practice doesn't slow down. You slow down, which slows your practice down. Your slowdown could be in your head. Your slowdown could be what you're doing out there. But there is no excuse. I've never met anyone who hasn't exhausted all means to find new patients. They're out there. It is only your fault.
I mean, I think that's got to sit with people as you hear that. It is only your fault. And you look for options for things. Right now, we're at the precipice, I think, and I've been saying all along and to telling people, look, you got three big things right now you got to lock down. You got to lock down your AI strategy. We're doing that over at Chiropractic Results. You got to lock down your internal, external referral strategies, working with other healthcare providers, which there's been no better time in the history of chiropractic. When I was a kid growing up, if you had told me neurosurgeons now refer to chiropractors, I would have been like, what world are you on? Now it's not perfect, right? They say some of them go, well, 6 visits and, but the other thing is obviously corporate wellness. And we just talked recently about the Joint and Honda. There's so much opportunity for a I say you're one business away, one business relationship away from thriving. What are some of your tips to get out of your own combination of fear, laziness, insubordination would also be, I think, at work? Because you just made a really great point. You quit. Well, same thing. You're your own insubordinate employee when you're like, I got to do this stuff.
Honestly, the post was the size of 2 phone lengths. And I thought if you would put that energy into your practice, you'd want to practice. People spend so much time in the negative.
What would you tell someone? What would you coach and mentor someone on? Let's just talk about networking. Because again, it's so funny. The 80% to go, I don't want to. I hated it. Never, this is the term. It never got me any new patients. I hate that. I hate when people, I'm like, well, yes, it did. But anyways, what would you help someone with who maybe is an OG, who's like an OG out there, who's like, I'm 20 years in practice. And the mindset is, I shouldn't be doing this. Right?
Okay, especially for the OGs. So especially like anybody like even 40, 45 and up. A couple things. First thing, make sure you're moving. You're not going to be good any good in your practice. You're going to be sluggish. I don't care if it's 30 minutes a day. It's so funny because I used to hear the big gurus say, and I do physical activity 30 days, 30 minutes a day. And I'm like, who's got that? I never understood it. Never, ever understood it. I clearly understand it now. It
Yeah.
will bring you clarity. It will reduce your stress in the office. So first, start moving. Second, find something that you like to do in your community. Find something new. So if it's pickleball, if it's bowling, go join and do something in your community that is going to bring you patients, something you've never done before, to meet a new community that you've never met before. That would be something that I would say to do, most certainly.
I love it. We got some chiropractic news to close. Oh, I want to tell you about a story heading down in your other home state, Florida.
Florida.
Geico's chasing a Florida chiropractor over alleged 1.2 million PIP scheme. Hey, I know some, look, again, you just said movement. I'm going to use that term and go to aggressive. I think there's some really smart docs out there that I would call aggressive. I would include you in that matter when it comes to knowing how to navigate the system and play the game of insurance. Have you ever dealt with it? I know you've never been in a situation where you have a Geico coming after you, but how do you play the safety net and stay aggressive out there with your insurance stuff?
Just follow me. Honestly, if you follow the insurance guidelines, your patients will be healthier than ever and you will be more abundant than ever. If you know how to bring a patient in and communicate the story and truly give them 3 visits or 8 visits or whatever is under their insurance guidelines the right way. One thing I think would be cool, I think that every insurance companies, if you want to make chiropractic a fair playing field, go audit every chiropractor's practice that does 24 visits over the year every 2 weeks. Go find all the
Ooh.
chiropractors doing every 2-week visits, spreading out their insurance every 2 weeks that screws everyone else because
Ooh.
patients don't understand. And when their insurance visits are up, they come back the next year and they know they are one audit away. You guys are one audit away. The second someone catches or sees and looks further into this, hundreds of
Mhm.
thousands of dollars. But if you do it and that's another thing. When we talk about, I need to can we have DE can we get a DE podcast one day? Because this is what I would like to talk to them about.
I don't know if they would play with me again, but
And
okay, we could try.
actually, I think we should do this with Danny Knowles because I love him. I love Danny and Rochelle. And at Mile High, sorry I said M, but I was putting that with Mile High. I stood up in front knowing that a lot of their doctors probably were cash only, but
Yeah.
never knowing they were all cash only, with a presentation that I had to shift and pivot on the spot. I said, hey, who takes insurance? No one. Who's all cash? Everyone. And I
Yeah.
thought, my God, I understand the issue. Their issue is that I think, they can tell me if I'm wrong because I'd like to learn if I'm wrong.
I don't want to be told what I should charge. That's the
No,
that's
difficult. I think it's
oh,
that philosophically, they don't believe that insurance should be with chiropractic. I believe it's philosophical. And if that's the case, I want to say, get out of your own way because you can still practice true philosophical, the way that, you can still protect your sacred trust.
Yep.
You just do adjustments only. But let's say, so like in my practice, a patient comes in, our patients work really hard to have insurance. It's a lot of their
it's
money.
part of their money.
Yeah. And their employers pay a lot of money for their insurance. So if your patient is coming in and you philosophically, I get that. I do get that, and that's fine. But my goodness, 6 of them are justifiable through the insurance because they do have pain. Let's face it, they came in for pain, guys. They didn't come in because they said, oh, I want my innate intelligence. They came in. Okay. So give them 6, give them the care plan that puts them into function and wellness and health, and everybody wins. I don't understand what their stop is. I just think it's wrong that chiropractors are every 2 weeks billing the insurance company, trying to find. It's wrong. That is maintenance, and it's wrong.
Yeah, dude, you're fired up today. What are you walking into? You got paid. Where are you at? What are you walking into right now?
So Let's see. Actually, I have an afternoon today. I'm good today. Tomorrow, I have 4 new.
Okay, cool. And what is your mindset? You got 4 new patients. I don't see Amanda the mogul going into fear mode going, oh my God, you're so prepared, you're so well trained, you're so well in practice. How do you
Oh,
do you manage do you mindset out that day before that day? Do you
are you kidding? I've been in every room already. I've been in the box. So, first of all, I have the exact total collections right here. I have about these patients who are going to be so healthy like they've never been before. And they're going to be part of my chiropractic family forever. And they just don't know it yet. So that's why I'm excited for tomorrow. But it's going to be a big, awesome day. And I am getting
dude?
this afternoon to make sure that I'm good for the patients. But in my practice, when people, they're saying like, they look, they're good looking people. Honestly, you shouldn't look good I mean, in my practice, I don't even have a curl bun. I have the funny bun. I have a funny bun in my hair, no makeup. Like, I want to be like totally asexual in my practice. I don't ever want someone to be like, I got the hot doctor, I got the whatever. I don't ever want that. Who wants to send their husband to the hot doctor? You don't want to do that. Like, you don't know these people. So I think it's awesome. Just, you want to be their brother, their sister, but like, I actually recommend that you're not hot at work.
Guys, if you want to work with Amanda, you can get over to chiromoguls.com. If you want to if you want a connection, you're fired up today, sister. I love it, dude. Go forth and conquer. Maybe I'll reach out to Danny. We'll get him on one of our episodes here coming up.
Could you imagine a bunch of philosophically big chiropractors? Because I'm more with them than with my crew when it comes.
I know that.
And then they start doing this, and then they're changing the world because now they understand finances. Whoop, whoop.
Well, that's why they need a mogul in their life. Thanks for jamming, dude. We'll jam next week. Bye, guys.